Hello guys, it's Pharaoh back with a Destiny review, and today I am going to be showcasing the Sturm Cannon. For this part, I will be putting away all my opinions until I get to the part where I want to talk about them, because I don't want you guys to see the weapon how I see it just yet. I will give you all the stats so you can decide for yourself. So let's begin. So the impact of the Sturm Cannon is going to be really high, which increases the damage inflicted by each round. So the range is going to be about 70% of the bar, increases the effective range. Stability, handling, and reload speed are surprisingly the same exact thing, which I've never noticed. And that's maybe about 25% of the whole bar. And then the magazine is going to have 12 shots in it for 110 rounds per magazine. My attack's just 284 because I haven't leveled it up yet, and you can level up by infusing your weapons like that, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to infuse it just yet. And here I have a mod which adds 5 attack to it, so it's gonna have combat grip. This weapon's recoil direction is more vertical, greatly controls recoil. So apparently they're claiming that this thing can handle shots and the recoil is not that bad, which I don't want to get into my opinion, but I've used this thing and the recoil is pretty bad. Storm and Stress trait. Kills with energy weapons grant bonus precision damage until next reload. That sounds like a really good perk for PvP, so I'd recommend it if it works for you. If you're accurate, you go in there, but if you're not, I recommend just running it for PvE solely. Extended magazine. This weapon has a greatly increased magazine size but reloads much slower. Greatly increases magazine size, greatly decreases reload speed. So you're gonna have a 12 magazine, which is really low, but in turn the reload speed is gonna be very low, which I really don't like about that, because if you're like hiding around the corner and the guy's rushing you and you're like one bullet in the mag, you're gonna have to reload, and that's gonna take a year. So I mean, you better be hitting your shots. That's what I've seen about this weapon, really, is that you have to really hit your shots for it to be effective. Otherwise you're gonna run out of your magazine and reload speed is gonna take forever. Extended barrel. Weighty barrel extension increases range, decreases handling speed. So that's really good for precision. So I mean, yeah, just get a good aim and you can use this weapon. It's not really for the general pop, which I've noticed. Then Accomplice is intrinsic. Kills with this weapon fill the magazine of the equipped energy weapon from reserve. So that's pretty cool. So if you get a kill, apparently the magazine will equip the energy weapon. What? I have never noticed that before. After I read these, I'm gonna go into a strike or something and try that out. Kills with this weapon fill the magazine of the equipped energy weapon from reserves. So there's an enemy right here. I'm gonna go kill him and see if it reloads. Or did I do it wrong?
Hours later.
If you want to fill the Drang up by getting kills with the Sturm, if that makes any sense. So let's use some ammo from there, get a kill with that, and you see we don't have to reload. I'm pressing the X button. Pretty cool. So now I'm going to head into somewhere else besides here and show you guys the recoil on this thing. So I'm out of that frenzy zone, and right here you can see that the Sturm Cannon ADS has a great amount of recoil. Like, it's really hard to aim with, but you can see the holes are really nice and tight together, which makes it I guess a really decent weapon. But now I'm going to move back while ADSing and test that out. So aim up here, 1, and this is me not controlling it. You see guys, that's why I don't recommend it for PvP, simply because the recoil is too high, especially at a high tier. It's going to be very bad for PvP. If you really want to win those gunfights and be a great duelist, I really don't recommend it. So I'm going to go up close, not crouching, no ADS, and shoot it off and see how that feels. 1. So that perk that said it moves up vertical, I can see how that's coming up, because it doesn't stray to the left or the right. It usually just only goes up, which I really respect. Let's see if crouching makes it better. So yeah, that's not a myth apparently. Crouching does make your aim better. Wow, he stole it. That's 1, boys. Slide around this corner, peek around. Okay, watch this.
Okay.
Healing rift screwed me over. That's the really one thing I don't like about warlocks.
I can't wait to see what you do with that.
Okay. Let's actually get back to the review and not whatever the fuck I was doing. So anyways guys, I actually like this Sturm for PvP. I found it to be an overall actually accurate weapon. When you saw that I was shooting the Sturm at the walls, you can see that the holes were nice and tight together. It actually makes up for the amount of recoil the Storm has. You just have to be pacing your shots and not shooting off like a hunter in the hunting season. You really have to be careful and play very methodical if you want to use this weapon correctly for PvP or PvE. Well, I don't see the point in using it for PvE since there's really no need. There's a plethora of weapons you could use that are way better than the Sturm for PvE, but if you just want to use the Sturm, I guess it's a really good weapon if your aim is at least average or above. You can't have poor aim to use this weapon. I'm sorry, but that is just the fact. I have seen time and time again people try to use this weapon when their aim is not superior. Guys, you have to focus on the recoil and focus on pacing your shots, otherwise this weapon is completely useless. Next thing I strongly recommend using this Sturm for is the Accomplice perk, which reloads your secondary from the reserves if you get a kill with the Sturm cannon. Guys, this is a really good perk because if you are challenging more than one person and you have no ammo in this Sturm, since it only carries 12 bullets in the mag, you can immediately switch over to your secondary and immediately just start destroying them because it automatically reloads. You guys have to understand how much time that cancels out, especially if you're playing high level. Every second matters. It will give you more of an advantage than you know. You are literally eliminating those little seconds that you need to potentially win a gunfight. But I highly recommend this if you're a very aggressive player. I don't recommend it if you play very smart, very slow, because there's really no point in rocking it then. But yeah, to be honest, I don't really recommend it for PvP either, because there are very many weapons that can make this thing flinch. Like I said, because of the recoil, it really does move up and down a lot. That motion can at sometimes throw a lot of people off. But like I said, there's no real reason to be using this weapon in PvP, since there's other great weapons you can use, such as the Mida multi-tool, Uriel's Gift, or Origin Story. So I mean, if you want to use it, these are just some tips to help you get started off and see how I see the weapon really. I mean, I did decent with it in PvP, but I really don't recommend it. But if you want to use it, I guess it's good. I would rate this weapon a 6 out of 10 maybe, because it really depends on the player who is playing and it depends on your playstyle, so you might see something differently, but that seems fair to me. But anyways guys, this is gonna wrap up today's review. I hope you enjoy. Please leave a like, subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Peace.